Turn my microphone back up. Why is it so low? Everything is low, actually. Turn it up to max. Music is loud? Oh, my bad. My bad. Hold on. This AC unit is also loud. Let me turn that off for a second. Okay. Now you should just hear me. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Night Sky stream. I am the Night Sky Prince. I hope you're all doing fairly well on this lovely Friday. And thank God, indeed, that it is Friday. I am fucking... It's been a long week. It's been a long week. I'm glad we can finally decompress with you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't stream on Monday, but that was just a circumstantial thing. But we're back to regular programming for Mondays and Fridays. Clouch Drive First Class, thank you so much for the sub, and also thank you to Leanthus for the sub before the stream started. I hope you guys are excited. We are going to be defying fate today with episode Ignis Verse 2. I wanted to save it for the end so it could feel like cope for us. You know, what do you mean we didn't get Dawn of the Future? It's right here, bro. Noctis lives. Everything is happily ever after. You know, it could still feel like that, chat. It's not too late. We can still have it. We can pretend that we got Dawn of the Future. And I mean, technically, I don't think it's quite the same as like what Dawn of the Future had in mind. But it's sort of like in that ballpark. And so we can kind of just like allow that to be as it is. And after this, it's episode RNA, right? State of Play will announce it, trust. Okay. I do want to say that just recently they announced new DLC for The Witcher 3. And that's pretty huge. And that's a 2015 game that is going to be getting brand new DLC. And I just hope that Square Enix knows that even though that's like, did I say 20 year? I mean 10 year. 10-year-old game, 11-year-old game, because it released in 2015. And it's getting a new DLC. So, Square Enix, just because it is an older game, doesn't mean you can't make new DLC for it, and doesn't mean that people won't buy it. I certainly would buy Dawn of the Future DLC. Everyone in this chat would. It's still a thing that people would love to see. Man, how cool would it be if old FF games were treated as good as The Witcher 3 is getting treated? Witcher 3 sold way more. But see, it's a cycle though too, right? Like it's a circle. Like, because The Witcher 3 gets treated better and better, it keeps selling units more and more, right? This is actually one thing I can really say about Tabata versus a lot of other people within Square Enix, and that's not even to name names or anything. It's just like Square Enix as a, not even Square Enix, Japanese companies, kind of, really. So one thing I think that like Western developers do tend to excel at is keeping their big open world RPGs alive through new content and through mod support. And that is something that Tabata actually wanted to bring over from Western games to Final Fantasy. And I do think that that was actually going to be like one of the coolest things about 15. And this is also one of the reasons that 15 sold so well. I think people try to make it a mystery about, wow, why did Final Fantasy 15 sell so extraordinarily well? I don't even think it's as good as like Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, right? But the thing is that Final Fantasy 15 was always constant. It was always new. It was something always was happening with it. It was always being talked about. And as a result, it was always on the top of social media feeds. It was always indirectly being promoted through transients of that. And so people always were, you know, kind of promoting FF15, whether they were intentionally trying to or not. And that kept FF15 relevant for years after its release, which is why it was able to get to 10 million. And I just think that, like, man, imagine if they put out, like, if they had, like, mod support for Rebirth. You know, how crazy that would have been, or mod support for Final Fantasy 16, or, you know, or they had, you know, like, substantial updates coming for FF16 in the same way, or, like, actually expansive DLCs that, like, really actually created different gameplay experiences, or just something different than the base game. I think those games would have gotten a lot more uplift. But yeah, Japanese games like to finish a game and be done, right? And I think that, like, with Western, specifically Western RPGs, it's different, right? Like, Western RPGs, it's like you buy a pretty complete game, right? Like, I don't think anyone would say, like, Baldur's Gate 3, The Witcher 3, any of the Elder Scrolls games are, like, really incomplete, right? They're complete games. And then they just keep getting, like, more polished, though, as time goes along, through mods, through official support, and through that stuff. And they wanted to bring that to 15, which I thought was an excellent idea. A great way to get, you know, the game back on top. And also to really grow it in the West. But, yeah. Tabata always seemed to think ahead. I know a lot of people call out Tabata for lying various times, but let's be real, he didn't do that willingly. But he had the best interest for the fans and always kept his ears closed to feedback, be it good or bad. Yeah. Roy Mustang, thank you for the super chat. Roy says SC is like cancer. It ruins everything it touches. Now the SC has even infected my beloved DQ. I pray this company shuts down. Oh no, Roy. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about the Dragon Quest stuff soon, since especially since we have Crossy in chat to fact check us and help guide the situation, since he's our Dragon Quest expert. I do actually, but God, how should I say this? The comments on Dragon Quest 12 being Dragon Quest versus 13 is really funny to me. I know that some people are saying that it's false equivalence, and I think I agree that it's not quite the same, right? Because I don't think the public ever got a look at Dragon Quest 12, right? Like, we never, like, really saw anything about DQ12. So I don't think people are really going to be looking at, like, the Flames of Fate and being like, wow, that was our, that was our Stella. And she got replaced with Dragon Quest's new Luna Freya or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Like, the level of speculation, the hype, the aura that Versus had. And that's not to say that Dragon Quest 12 Flames of Fate wouldn't have had that, in comparison to Beyond Dreams. But we just never seen it to really know, like, for sure yet. Like, damn, that's it. So, the only way we would ever have that is if stuff from the Flames of Fate actually leaked out, and then we could discuss it. I always saw him as a great director in a situation. He's an okay director. I feel like I have problems with a lot of his games in terms of design, but I think he's a pretty forward thinker. If we were talking about game sales real quick, news we got recently, the Dragon Quest II HD Remake Trilogy has sold 4 million. I guess the breakdown is 2.5 million for 3 HD 2D and 1.5 million for 1 and 2, which is given how many assets are reused quickly across all 3 games, and the quick turn around alongside the Team Asano projects and Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. That's good stuff for Square Enix, yeah. It does make me think that the FF Pixel games should have gotten a remake. I mean, like a Pixel remaster. Am I streaming the State of Play? Yes. That's on Tuesday. We'll probably stream 3 times that week: Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, probably. So that'll be a special week. Roy, thank you for the 1-month membership at the Fira tier. Oh my gosh, dude. Thank you so much for always supporting the streams. FSE goes bankrupt and its IPs like Dragon Quest, Nier, etc. got sold off to companies like Capcom's Sega, we'd be getting much better games faster. I will say that, and this is something that I kind of noted in my most recent video too. Actually, I don't think I blatantly made the comparison, but if you do compare Capcom's AAA output to Square Enix's AAA output right now, it's is pretty telling, right? Like, it's pretty bad, because in terms of Square's AAA lineup, what is happening? What is happening, right? No new Nier or Drakengard game. Dragon Quest 12 is probably a longer ways off even than we anticipated. Kingdom Hearts 4, lol, laughing my ass off. 7R3 is coming, but again, that's part 3 of a remake and not something brand new. So in terms of getting something new, actually new in any of their flagship franchises, their flagship AAA franchises, it has admittedly been very bad. I don't think anyone here would say otherwise. I think we're all in agreement that Square Enix's AAA is fairly cooked. So, yeah. And I think that some people, they want the big AAA franchises, so they're like, oh, they should cancel all the smaller games and just focus on the big AAA. But really, it's the smaller games that are keeping them alive right now. But the thing is that it should not just be the smaller games or whatever the fuck, right? It should not just be their AA games keeping them afloat. They're one of the biggest publishers in Japan after Nintendo, right? Their output should fucking be better. I don't think anyone is going to say that their output is acceptable at this point. I don't agree with that at all. Nothing against Capcom, but Capcom's visionaries do not have the same vision as the SE ones. Sure, Capcom's output is better, and I'd like Square to have that too, but I just don't think you can, I don't know that word, you can, anyone, and it'd be Kingdom Hearts or Dragon Quest, and it be I don't. We got a lot of typos at the end there. Give. Okay, I'm sorry. Duh, that's obvious. Give anyone Kingdom Hearts and Dragon Quest, and it be Kingdom Hearts or Dragon Quest. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, I think that is because Square's IPs are more auteur driven, right? So you want to know that it's like Yoshi P, Tetsuya Nomura. Like you want to know that it's Yuji Horii. You know what I'm saying? Like that it's Yoko Taro. Their games are driven by cult followings around an artistic visionary for their games, right? Um, and sometimes those visionaries leave, like Tetsuya Takahashi, and then now he's with Monolith Soft and Nintendo, and they're making the Xenoblade games, and people follow, right? Like they're kind of like their brand kind of is creating that auteur artistic visionary and cultivating an audience for them to follow them religiously, right? Like I mean, even Team Asano, for example, right? Which has their fans and stuff too. And that's not to say that like Capcom doesn't have that, or even and Konami is also kind of like coming back like really hard, like with the way that they're pushing their creatives out. That's true, as opposed to how games like Silent Hill F can be successfully done by other creatives, right? Yeah. So that's what makes it hard, I think, for Square. I think people need to realize that Capcom makes significantly smaller games than a lot of SE games, which is why Capcom can get them out faster. But Capcom has better management, right? There's no expectation for Capcom to put out a 100-hour RPG, right? But this is also why I think that personally, and this might actually be a hotter take, I don't think the next mainline Final Fantasy game should be significantly longer in terms of main story completion than 25 to 30 hours, actually. I think that the next mainline FF should be about as long as Remake Part 1, which I think if you skip the side quests is probably like a good 30-ish hours, maybe 35 if you do all of them. Maybe something like 30 hours. Yeah, like 25 to 30 hours, I think. Yeah, I actually think, because if you go back to like 7OG, for example, that's about how long it is if you beeline it, right? And that's like all the Golden Era FFs. I think they should streamline that shit a lot. I really do. Because one of the things about Rebirth and 16 that you can both say is that it feels like it would have been better if they just made it get to the point like a little bit faster. Roy Mustang, thank you for the super chat. The visionaries at Square have driven FF to irrelevancy and now are on track to do the same with DQ and Nier. I hope Taro and Horii leave this godforsaken company along with their IP. Okay. I want to talk about, that reminds me what I wanted to say about Flames of Fate, is that it seems to me that Flames of Fate was not going to be the type of Dragon Quest game that fans were really going to enjoy as much as Beyond Dreams. I feel like, to me, it's fairly apparent. I might be making a few leaps here. Crossy is in chat to fact check me on this and to rein me in if I'm bullshitting. But my understanding is they were, first of all, from the logo, but also what Horii even said himself, that they were aiming for a more mature audience. They were going to make the game more adult. And also, too, they had kind of teased some big changes to combat. It's hard to say exactly what all of that, would like literally entail. But judging from Yosuke Saito's statement, it gave me the impression that what they were doing would have garnered a similar critical reception that FF16 probably faced when it was also in the way it was about to come out, or like in the lead up to its release, which was very, very, very negative. If you guys recall, prior to 16's release, I think that 16 got evaluated more kindly after the game launched, for sure. But I think in the lead up to that game's launch, the rhetoric around it was pretty bad. I think there was a post on Twitter every day, kind of raking that game through the coals in the lead up to its launch. I will say, as a DQ fan, I think bringing the development in-house has been a mistake for the series. It should go back to outsourcing entirely rather than partially outsourcing, which is what they do now. A reality no one talks about with AAA development in SE. Since FF12, there has not been a period of time where at least one of their AAA projects isn't in limbo or dev hell, and that's just ridiculous. 20 years of that. Development restarted because Saito and the team asked Horty if the game was what he considered a Dragon Quest. Based on his response, development restarted. So it's pretty clear that it wasn't what he thought DQ is at that point in development. Also, the combat stuff. All that ever was said was the revamp of combat. People blow that way out of proportion, yeah. So, yeah. At the end of the day, what we can tell is that when they were looking at it, and this is Saito's words, when they were looking at what they were doing with Flames of Faith, they said this is not a Dragon Quest game. Outsourcing entirely, that is not sustainable. Well, actually, that's how they, to my understanding, that's how they developed all the Dragon Quest games. Like, Dragon Quest is basically never done in-house. Nier is also the same way for the most part. The only Nier game that was done in-house was actually the remaster of Replicant, I think. And I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that Replicant the remaster was done in-house. No, I think 11 was outsourced too, if I'm not mistaken. The visionaries are, for the most part, not the problem. I just can't agree with that. Square Enix has too much known info about how the management is a big issue, not the devs, so I think blaming them specifically is not correct, especially in the case of something like FF15. Yeah. Well, I mean, however one may feel about the creatives, right? Like, the creatives themselves are also making commentary pieces about how much they fucking hate the management too. So I think that's something to think about before one makes any critique of the creatives themselves. And that's not to say that all the creatives are flawless geniuses just being held back by management necessarily, but it is just to say that, like, first we need to consider that the creatives themselves are also actively battling the management. And some of the best work ever done in the company is also commentary pieces about how bad the company's management is. Like Final Fantasy Tactics, for example. Which shows you honestly how far back this really goes with Square Enix's management, or Squaresoft's management at the time. And by extension now Square Enix. However, like, it's one of those things where, as I think dev times got longer and game development got more complicated, what ultimately ended up happening, was just the fact that that poor management was no longer a thing that they could get away with having and also producing high quality games anymore, right? Because as the projects become more complex, you have to have good management to make sure that things stay on track, right? Kingdom Trigger, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you a ton. How to fix FF? 1. Have 3 studios making mainline. Mainline FF that is turn-based with action elements. Have the Octopath team make a sub-franchise of FF in the SNES style with pure turn-based combat. Yeah, I do think that they're the best way to actually get this series back on track, or to the level that Resident Evil currently is, probably is to have 3 studios. I agree. Making the mainline series, which I know some people say is like fucking crazy, and like, no, they should never do that, and like that would ruin the series and turn it into slop. But that's kind of what they were literally doing before. You know, keep in mind that Final Fantasy 9, 10, and 11 were in development at the same time, right? And that's 3 different teams. So it is not as though they've never had like 3 different studios working on mainline titles, right? And at the time of the Fabula Nova Crystallis, you had the Tokyo team working on Versus, as they were called at the time. You have the lineage that is now known as Creative Studio 1. They were working on Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. You had Business Division 2 working on Type 0. You had the lineage now known as Creative Studio 3 working on Final Fantasy 14. And so at that point, you really had like 4 teams internally working on different Final Fantasy projects. So I do think that 3 studios is the way to go. And I think what you do is that that gives each studio 6 years to produce a game. And they would release those Final Fantasy games bi-yearly. And that, marketing-wise, would be the way to do it. Again, people always push back on this and say slopification of Final Fantasy. I disagree, because this is exactly what they fucking did previously. Like, this isn't a new idea at all, like, whatsoever. It's not. It's literally just what they've done, and it worked. And they should probably do it again. But also, mind you, FF was the first major game series, really, or like the first major like non-sports game. But like big RPG franchise, really, to have yearly releases like that, right? Like FF releases used to be like about yearly. 7, 8, 9, 10. I think at most, like, there's like a 2-year gap between one of them. I think it's like between 7 and 8, 97 and 99, if I'm not mistaken. And then 9 and 10 are yearly releases. So it's not something that necessarily slopified FF. It just means that you have to have 3 different teams, and those teams get a certain amount of time, and they can reuse assets and stuff or whatever, but they can do their own creative vision, and they can put it out bi-yearly, which I think gives them more time and also doesn't create the same fatigue that, you know, maybe Call of Duty has, but clearly it doesn't, because it still seems to be selling well, I think. With the whole DQ turning to action combat, I doubt that was ever going to be a thing, because people don't know. Dragon Quest IX was originally action-based. It faced such harsh pushback from fans, it was delayed by a year to retool to turn-based. Also with outsourcing, every single Team Asano game is outsourced still. Elliot is Claytech World, for example. Yeah. So basically, my understanding, Crossy, is that like the entirety of the Enix side of the business is all outsourcing. So if it's an Enix property like Nier or Team Asano or Dragon Quest, it's not made in house. Really, the only stuff that is made in house is Squaresoft stuff, and everything else is like sent to the outsourcing mines. So, um, I mean, basically, if it's not like Squaresoft in Origin, it's probably outsourced. So is Team Asano all management? My understanding is that yeah, it's like all they do all the design and all of the direction and stuff like that, and then that gets sent to the outsourcing team, and they're the ones that put it together. Because Square had teams before the merger, right? And Enix, I don't really think had teams, like, right? They had teams, but like not in the same way as like not in the same way as Final Fantasy had teams, and like the way Squaresoft had teams. Roy, thank you for the super chat, but I don't think that's fair to say. Should Takeshi Kiryu be persecuted for war crimes? I don't think he's done anything bad yet. I don't think he's done anything bad yet. Um, I think he's been there for 3 years, and I don't think he's done anything bad yet. Kiryu hasn't really shown it. Yeah. Basically, everything that we're still seeing is still Matsuda, right? Like, because Kiryu took over in 2023, right? He took over in 2023, so every game that you're still seeing, for the most part, was greenlit by Matsuda. So I don't know if I could say that like he's really responsible for anything yet. He took over in 2023 and he cleaned up all the projects in 2024, right? So he's only been there 3 years. So no game basically that has been released fully under his administration, right? Like fully under his watch. So yeah. The only bad thing he's done is push AI. Well, even then, I don't think he's pushed AI more than any other tech company has, or any other game company has. And most of the stuff he's pushing AI in is like QA and programming. It's not in like art asset creation. So and I think that there's sensible use cases for AI for those things, but not maybe generating the fucking story or the game world or the art asset to the music. Anything associated with like the soul or artistic vision, I think obviously should be off limits for AI. But you know, if you're talking about lip sync, or you're talking about like various aspects of, not all of QA, because I don't think that like 70% of QA can be done like by AI, like they said, but I do think that a certain percentage of it can be aided by AI, sure. But again, yeah, I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think, yeah, I haven't seen anything that he wants to do with AI yet that's like really made me be like, yo, what the fuck? The slopification has begun. It all seems like fair, fairly, like, I don't want to say standard, but like particularly bad or you know, not appropriate use of AI, right? Doesn't seem like that yet. Yeah, everyone's pressured to use it whether it makes sense or not. Yeah. which is why a lot of developers of software games will just put a feature in there because they need the developer dollars. And whether that feature makes sense or enhances the actual experience, be damned. It's just like everyone's doing it, so we need to have something that does it too, which I don't think is a great idea, right? Like if it's a feature that actually makes sense for your product, that helps your product, sure. But in a lot of cases, it's not. It's just a feature that they put in there because they want the money. Kingdom Trigger, thank you. Holy shit, that is a massive super chat. God damn, brother, $50. Jesus Christ, thank you so much. This is my craziest take. Square Enix should retire Kingdom Hearts after 4 and have Nomura make Verum Rex instead, even if it sells less than KH. Keep in mind KH revenue has to get split with Disney, and add on extra dev time and expenses to get Disney's approval too. Wow. Okay. First of all, again, thank you 100 billion for that massive super chat. As for your take, I really do get where you're coming from, honestly. I imagine that Kingdom Hearts 4 probably is seeing like the amount of delays and burden placed on it, probably because of Disney. Disney is a lot to deal with, and it does take a lot of time to get approvals. And this is why Kingdom Hearts 4's dev time doesn't surprise me at all. Everyone else is freaked out by it. They're like, oh, something must be going horribly wrong in order for this to happen. And I'm like, no, dude. Every single world inside of Kingdom Hearts is basically like its own mini AAA game, right? There is no asset reuse between one location and the next. It is tremendously expensive and time consuming, and each one of those worlds has to have a unique look. And as graphics have gotten better, this has only gotten more complicated. And I suspect that considering that they're using a more realistic looking Sora, that they are probably going to dive into a lot of Disney's more realistic looking properties. I think we've all speculated that since the game was first announced. And so it just seems really obvious to me that Kingdom Hearts 4 is like Kingdom Hearts 5 really is going to take a long fucking time. Like a really long fucking time. And I do think that Nomura wants to finish Kingdom Hearts as a series before he leaves. He's definitely made that clear that he wants to bring the series to a close before he retires. I could definitely see Kingdom Hearts 5 being the last KH game he makes, especially if it takes like 10 years, right? In the way that it's looking like it's going to take Kingdom Hearts 4, right? I think Kingdom Hearts 4 will be a little less than that. It'll probably be like 7, maybe, because actually, well, I guess it'll be 8 years, assuming it launches next year, right? Which is me being maybe incredibly optimistic. But I'll say, like, let's assume KH4 launches next year. Still pretty fucking crazy. I agree, though, with the principle that Nomura has needed his own IP that is not burdened by anyone else. And I would love for that to be Verum Rex, right? I would love for that to be whatever Versus was going to be, because that kind of is what Versus was going to be, right? I don't think NSP means Disney is making it harder to approve, more so it being hard to make. Yeah, the nature of the Disney worlds was something that was super cool on PS2. And from a dev standpoint became less cool as time went along, because I mean, really compare Kingdom Hearts 2's worlds to Kingdom Hearts 3, right? Like, really compare. And the moment you do, I promise you, how apparent the differences are between what goes into making a world in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 versus what goes into making a world in Kingdom Hearts 3. And then presumably that 4 will one up 3 even. And they can't reuse any of the same assets. They sometimes need to change art styles. They have to deal with complex lighting now. They have to deal with much more complex animation and all these other things. Like, the more apparent that becomes, the more you realize, like, holy shit, Kingdom Hearts is such a difficult game to make. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2's worlds were simple geometry for the most part and really simple textures and lighting. Yeah, dude. Like, every world in, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 is a box. It's a box with maybe a few boxes inside of it. Super simple, right? And also, too, the way the zone loading worked meant that you didn't have to create, like, transitional areas between two different environments. You just kind of, like, walked off screen and then you were in the next box. That shit was crazy. And that's definitely not to say there were no challenges with making the art for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. There definitely was. Absolutely monumental what they were able to achieve there. But again, making a Pixar film happen in real time, I think, is also fairly challenging, and that's basically what they've been doing in these recent games. John Linneman from Digital Foundry once said that he couldn't get into KH1 because it felt like he was just going from box to box. I mean, that's not untrue. I would have to push back a little to him, like, for that, like, stopping him from being into it. But in a literal sense, you're definitely going from box to box. And if you really do stop and look at it, it is very much box to box gameplay, level design for sure. But they make it work. They make it work for sure. I think that KH1 and KH2 worlds are still fun. Kingdom Trigger, thank you for another super, brother. Regardless of anyone's feelings on Nomada, he's the only one at SC that can sell a game based on his name. He seems checked out with Kingdom Hearts. Well, okay. I do think that, and I semi-agree. I don't think he's, like, fully checked out with Kingdom Hearts, but I think what really happened, Kingdom, is just that he's just been so demoralized after what happened with Versus that it's kind of distracted him from Kingdom Hearts. But also, too, behind the scenes, we don't know all what limitations get put on him when it comes to that series, right? And how difficult it must be. So, I do feel like he has to go through hoops that people don't normally tangibly see, and when you do take a step back and realize it's not probably as fun as it is working on his own wholly original title, I imagine. Yeah, nobody is really pushing for hyper-realistic graphics, so them pushing for this hyper-realism is making things more difficult for themselves, IMO. Yeah, I think so too. It's interesting because I think younger generations especially don't have the associations with graphics that millennials do. I think they're over-optimizing for millennial appeal in some ways when it comes to graphics. Because when we were growing up, we associated graphics with progress, right? Progress, quality, the next generation. the power of the cell, the power of blast processing, 64-bit CD-ROM, whatever the fuck, right? All the different types of, you know, they basically were like really marketing like the power of the hardware. And I just really think that for the most part, especially younger generations, I think they don't give a fuck about the power of the hardware. They just care about the game. Can it run the game? Does the game run okay? Does it run fine? They care. They care about that, but like outside of that, they don't care. The cutoff date for that is like being born in the year 2003. Yeah. And even that, I feel like is like maybe late. I feel like if you were born in like the year like 98 or 2000, you may have already missed that train for like caring about graphics. But also too, like suppose you were born in like 2003, right? And you are like 23 years old or turning 23 this year. You have not lived to see a substantial increase in graphics basically your entire life. You have only seen at best modest increases in visuals. But like if you're looking at like PlayStation 3 to 5, and that's not to say that like there's not an increase between a PS3 game and a PS5 game. I wouldn't say that. But it's not insanely dramatic, right? Like it's not so dramatic that it's like this is like this changes video games forever in terms of fidelity, right? You know, PS3 to PS4 was the biggest leap you've seen, and even then that doesn't feel like the biggest leap ever. It feels pretty modest. Whereas, like, you know, if you were alive 10 years prior to that and you saw Super Nintendo to PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64, and then you saw PlayStation 1 to 2, and then you saw PlayStation 2 to 3, that shit was incredible, right? Like, going from Final Fantasy 7 to 10 to 13's graphics was pretty fucking substantial. Whereas, like, you know, going from like, I mean, even now, going from 15 to 16's graphics is kind of like, eh. You know? Right Mustang, thank you for another super, brother. I gave up on FF long ago, but I never imagined that DQ would go through dev hell. Who knows when we'll get a new Nier game, if ever? Yeah, we don't, well, I don't know like deep enough about DQ to ever say that. Yeah, so Crossy here says that DQ games do go through dev hell pretty frequently. He says that 6 did, 7 and 9. Yeah, because he mentioned that 9 was supposed to be like an action game and then that got canceled. So yeah. I also think back to that one guy who was working at Square, and he said he left Square because he was working for Dragon Quest's team, and he said that like Square Enix is unwilling to take any risks with Dragon Quest or something like that. You guys remember what the fuck I'm talking about? There's like an article on this out there. And I do think back, like, shit, was he talking about 12 now? Because remember, Flames of Fate was so risky that they talked to Yuji Horii about it. And more or less, Horii was like, yeah, this is not Dragon Quest. Or they thought what they had did not align with Horii's vision for, like, what Dragon Quest is. So, I don't know, man. That is actually pretty crazy. Sarah Girl Lover, hello. Grit graphics are nice, but I do not want a game to take 7 years to develop with an insanely bloated budget just to see a drop of sweat being calculated on a character. Nobody will want things like that except for maybe the few Twitter users farming clout, boasting about how their game is the best looking ever over the stinky other games. Yeah. Yeah, let's look at this. Because I do think that this is interesting now in hindsight. Because now I'm like, wait, hold on 1 second. Let me see something. Oh, Kingdom Trigger, thank you for another super. Kind of random, but what do you think of Nojima as a writer? He confuses me because I find him inconsistent. In 7R, character writing is 12 out of 10, and plot and thematic writing is I think that his plot and thematic writing has always been like maybe some of the shakier parts of some of his writing, but I think Nojima's character writing has always been like really solid. Like I think that's actually what makes him compelling as a writer is that he always tends to do like really compelling character writing and such. So I feel like that's kind of just on brand for him. I think even in his worst stories that some of his character writing is still the best thing about it for me. But I think that when he lands like a really compelling story, he fucking kills it. He tells like one of the best stories like ever, right? 7 and 10 and whatever the fuck verses was gonna be, it's Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. So I think when he really hits, he hits so hard that it's a generational story usually. So this was back. When the fuck was this? Damn, this was last year. Dragon Quest producer Ryotaro Ichimura left Square Enix because it was prioritizing safe or copycat games. To put it bluntly, Square Enix was copying others. Okay. In Dragon Quest 2, you had a 3-person party. In Dragon Quest 3, you could change jobs. In Dragon Quest 4, party members could fight using AI. Each entry pushed the series forward, both the evolution of game mechanics and by leveraging the latest hardware at the time. According to Automaton's reporting, Ichimura felt that Dragon Quest was a leader in the RPG space, and he was keen on to build something from zero. But with spiraling costs, the producer felt Square Enix was less willing to innovate and instead focused on tentpole franchises, Pakuri Kikaku copycat projects like Minecraft like Dragon Quest builders or Pokemon Go inspired Dragon Quest Walk. Okay. This was actually, he actually did fucking cook them with this. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was actually kind of correct. I mean, like Stranger of Paradise, for example, they like literally were like, we want you to make Final Fantasy Neo. I mean, debatably, you could say with 16, they wanted to make Final Fantasy Devil May Cry. You could say that like with Dissidia Duellum, they literally just purchased, I mean, they didn't purchase the developer, but they basically like told them to make Compass again, but put Final Fantasy characters on Compass. And that's basically what Dissidia Duellum is. And so if you guys don't know, Compass is like a mobile PvP game. That is basically Dissidia Duellum without the Final Fantasy characters. And then as I just mentioned, Square Enix was like, hey, we want you to take that and just put FF characters on it and call it Dissidia. So I do actually think that his criticism of Square is not wrong. Like this is actually true that Square is not really innovating as much anymore, especially with their flagship IPs. they're just saying like, fuck, we really want that. Oh, this is another game I forgot to like really mention was The First Soldier. The First Soldier is also like a very prime example of that. So only issue with him shitting on Walk is one of SE's biggest money makers. Makes SE billions of dollars. The builder devs just released Pokepedia, the highest rated modern Pokemon game. That's true. I don't think that he's necessarily saying that those games aren't like good for business or whatever. His argument is that the developer itself isn't as willing to innovate or create something new, which I do feel like is a fair criticism. And I'm not saying that they can't have their copycat projects that work pretty well. You know, like Dragon Quest Walk, for example. That's fine. However, I would say that in terms of like a new innovative thing that hasn't been done before, especially with these IPs, it does feel like they are just looking at other franchises and saying, we want to do our version of that quite a lot. We want to make a Final Fantasy version of this. Oh yeah, I got another example. Final Fantasy Explorers on 3DS. That was an answer to Monster Hunter, supposedly. That was their answer. There's just a lot of different things where they tried to make a version of a thing that someone else has already made, but then like stick their own IP on it. And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes that's actually smart and makes sense and makes money. But I do think that he may not have been wrong when he said that Square kind of over focuses on it and is not really creating that. Dissidia Duellum is literally an FF skin version of an existing mobile game too, right? Yeah. It's called Compass. It's literally just a reskin. And I mean that literally, because they even paid the same developer to make it. And many of the UI elements are even like directly just copied over. So they do this shit quite a lot. And a lot of it, I would say for every Dragon Quest walk, they have like maybe 5 first soldiers that come out. So yeah. So from the info we have about DQ12, the timeline I reckon is like this. 2018-19 pre-production begins. Toriyama and Sugiyama begin some of their final work before passing away. Negative reception to the games abandoning their roots and being gritty, just to be gritty. Square Enix restructuring and Saito joining the Dragon Quest team. After his friend's passing, Hori decides Dragon Quest should be like Dragon Quest and development restarts. Ichimura, frustrated, leaves Square Enix, labeling the decision safe. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty fair estimation, I think. I think so too. I guess you could say Tactics copies Ogre Battle. I mean, even to some degree, Final Fantasy from the start was like, yeah, we're going to make a Dragon Quest clone. Final Fantasy ultimately became its own thing, though, separate from Dragon Quest eventually, and not just like, this is our version of Dragon Quest. But I think that didn't really happen until, like, in a strong, significant way, until FF4. I think FF4 is like really when like Final Fantasy is not just a Dragon Quest like, it is its own series. I think FF4 is kind of like when that really emerged and it became like its own, like its really own unique strong series. And like, and that's not to say FF1 through 3 are bad, but like FF4 I think, was really when like a taste for Final Fantasy away from Dragon Quest was at its like most prominent, if that makes sense. And like things like ATB, I feel like, and the way FF presented its characters and stuff like that, and its artwork and its music, those were huge stylistic differences from Dragon Quest. And that's like really when Final Fantasy was like really and truly a thing wholly away from just being a Dragon Quest like, I think. About Flames of Fate being Versus 13, there are talks about Flames of Fate being a breakaway from DQ tradition. Beyond Dreams seems devoted to tradition. I'm mourning the loss of a game that was doing something new, right? It makes me wonder too about like Final Fantasy a lot, because to see Dragon Quest be kind of in that position, fuck, do I think about FF, and I'm like, well, what's gonna happen with FF in terms of the next one for it, right? I mean, Yoshi P's already said that they basically have an all hands on deck situation for Final Fantasy. There is no, at this point, there is no safe option for Final Fantasy, right? There's no, okay, we'll go back to doing the safe thing with FF, right? That doesn't exist. And so, I don't, you know, with Dragon Quest, they can be like, yeah, we'll go back and we'll make a very safe Dragon Quest. But the fuck is a safe Final Fantasy anymore? And I mean that by saying not necessarily that like that they couldn't go back to turn-based or anything like that, but understand that if they do go back to turn-based, that's still like, that's not like safe. You know what I'm saying? Like that's still a pretty bold move for them to do, right? That's not like the same dial back that Dragon Quest 12 Beyond Dreams is making. Being unsafe is part of FF's appeal. Yeah, I think it's part of it, right? Like I think that FF is you want unsafe with FF, but you also want a certain type of familiarity. And I think FF is at its best when it is able to factor in both. Kingdom Trigger, thank you for this super chat. By the way, Yoshi P echoed his opinions of young players not liking turn-based again with recent interviews, didn't he? I can't anymore, bro. Thank you so much, Kingdom Trigger. Yeah, he did in that recent interview, where he was talking about player ages, say that, well, players grew up with like online games and action games, so they won't be interested in Final Fantasy anymore. And he still like really holds on to that. He did what? This wasn't new, but this was basically part of, I think, the aging player base quote, where he was like, let me see if I could find it. But yeah, it's someone else find it for me. But yeah, he said it again like fairly recently, that he thinks that because most players grow up with online and like action games or online games, that Final Fantasy isn't going to resonate for them anymore. And I don't agree that that's true. I don't think that's true at all. You know, but that is what they believe, for sure. They've made that clear. And I think that is like a wrong take. How can you say that after E33 came out? I don't think he gives it a fuck, bro. I guess he like, I mean, he's privileged to certain data that we're not, and so maybe that's part of it, you know. That would be if FromSoft was scared that Elden Ring was going to be seen as Dark Souls 4. Wait, actually, what's that in regards to? Did he really only think that old boomers like me bought Expedition 33 in millions? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess so. I guess that is like what he thought, but and I'm sure that a lot of people in their 30s and 40s did buy Expedition 33, but definitely people in their 20s statistically had to be playing the game too, right? Yeah, so I really don't agree with his mentality on that. I was like a little bit saddened to see that he still thinks that despite all of this. I mean, Final Fantasy is putting out action games and term like online games. Like they are doing that, you know? So I don't think that is really the shift that's going to make them, you know, it's going to make things different. Okay, let's go ahead and open the game now that we've yapped enough. Oh, thoughts on the Persona leaks. That's a great topic, Rossi. Okay. I fucking hate the P6 character design. I do. Some people were hating on Dragon Quest XII's protagonist, but I think that hate should be redirected toward Persona 6's protagonist. I'm sorry, bro. He looks... I feel a blonde protagonist in general is just weird for Persona for me. Maybe. I don't know. Is that strange to say? But he looks really dorky to me. He doesn't have that coolness that I feel Makoto or Yu Narukami or Joker have. He's no Ryuji, that's true. But like, I don't know. I don't like it. He doesn't have that like. He doesn't have the sauce. Where the fuck is my cable? Ah. Sorry. My bad. Ask for why I have a cable this goddamn long. Don't ask. But I do. For my controller. But anyways. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like he looks like a little fucking nerd. That being said, though, I can see him growing on me. I can see me coming around to him eventually. I really wish the protagonist would have been a woman this time. I think that probably wouldn't have gone over too well if I'm being like completely honest, because I think that like a lot of people do want to play as the guy who dates every woman in town. And that is like a core appeal of Persona for a lot of people. And so I do think they probably would have lost some of their audience in doing that. Not saying that I like agree with that or would do that. I just think that like some people really are into the series for that like specific thing, and without it, they would be like, "Oh, woke game, not buying." And I do think it probably would have been sizable enough, unfortunately, for it to show up in the sales. So I think a better option probably would be like either choose your gender, like Persona 3 Portable, or like a dual protagonist narrative, like the rumors were suggesting. That probably would have worked better for them in terms of marketing, because then you could say, hey, you can be the guy that does like the dating sim stuff, or you can also play as a girl, and those two things don't you know, it's not like you have to trade off one for the other. We have both of those things here, which plenty of games do accommodate, by the way. So I don't see any reason that Persona couldn't. But yeah, I do think that there's probably some people out there that would not react kindly enough to them going down that route. Let me see. I'm about to open the game. I'm sorry. I think it wants me to open Steam first. Look at a picture from. Oh shit! You're right. He does look like Ryo from Devilman Crybaby. You're right. Actually, oh, true. Blonde-haired man being tied to Lucifer is an SMT staple. Hell, look at Luis in Metaphor. Oh, fuck. Actually, you saying that alone makes me like him and makes me like the blonde hair more. I think you're actually cooking, bro. I think you're actually right. You think you may be onto something. If they depict him as like kind of Luciferian, and he's like maybe unhinged in some ways, and he has like that kind of satanic connection, I'll be into it. I'll be really into it. But I think if he's just blonde Joker, I won't care. I don't know if that makes sense. But your lens on the character and estimation is kind of what I'm wanting it to be. I think that's where it would be. Like really deep for me and make me like him. Roy Mustang, thank you so much for another super. Soejima left P Studio to work on Metaphor, so I think it is unlikely he is involved with Persona 6. Atlas has been a worse studio after Sega bought them. So it's possible that Soejima still provided the character designs, though. I think they could still commission him for that. Because, I mean, the character artwork definitely does look like still kind of like a Soejima design to me. It's still very much his art, so. Persona has used SMT ideas before, like how the protag in P3 is like a messiah like certain SMT protagonists. So I reckon that the P6 character may be tied to Lucifer. That'd be fucking sick, dude. Okay, I hope it's like what you're thinking, because personally I would be into that. Okay, let's see if the game opens now. And then open my recording software. Oh, wait. Oh, it's because we changed it to 16-bit. There we go. And then let's... Yo, what the fuck? Andrew Brown, thank you so much for a super. 7R3 at the State of Play or Summer Games Fest? I feel confident in saying that 7R3 will be at the State of Play. I feel if I had to rate my confidence on that, I would say it currently sits at like 90%. I feel very confident that we're going to see 7R3 at that event. I don't think it'll actually be at Summer Games Fest, but I do think it will be at what do you call it? The State of Play. Let me see, 1 second. Fit to screen. There we go. Do you think Square would show anything at SGF? I think they're more likely to show stuff at State of Play, just historically speaking. So I feel like that's where it's going to happen. Again, not based on anything, just based on these nuts. With each FF15 DLC having its own composer, which composer would you like to have seen for Dawn of the Future with Aranea, Luna, and Noctis? I feel like Shimamura returning for Noctis would be fitting. I think for episode Aranea, Soken would have been really interesting. For sure. They already had Uematsu for Comrades. Who the fuck is left? Right? I don't even know. I feel like I would have to start dipping outside of Square Enix to even find notable composers, right? Was Ignis by Yasunori Mitsuda? Yeah. What about 7R composer? Oh yeah, you're right. Hamauzu. Hamauzu would have to be for Luna, I feel like. So Hamauzu for Luna. Soken for Aranea.
Gladio!
And then I don't know who would do...
Are you alright? Where's Prompto?
Who would do Noctis?
Well, what have we here?
Is the audio balanced, by the way?
You... Arden...
Oh dear. Was I that transparent?
Also, it's crazy that Ravis can tell that this is Arden, but when Arden later on pretends to be Noctis, he doesn't recognize him and he fools him. Which is kind of crazy. Did Arden just get better acting skills, or...
Lead and stop resisting.
Never!
You risked life and limb to safeguard the King of Kings, only to witness him fail so.
I'm not sure why they did this.
I know I am.
Like, change perspective thing.
That only ever lets you down. Why not end it all right here?
No,
I think it's cool.
you can't. No!
I just wonder why, like what the actual purpose or like what they think was, like, it's not bad. I just wonder why they did it there. Kingdom Trigger, thank you for another super. When I play Rebirth, I just think, goddamn, this game has such mass appeal and has so many moments that would go viral, but it's housed in an inaccessible, uninviting package for newcomers. Thank you so much, Kingdom Trigger, for another super. I could not agree more. I 110% agree with everything you just said. Rebirth would have made an incredible FF17, but instead it is the second part of a remake trilogy. And I really do think that if it was just presented as a brand new Final Fantasy game that you can go and play, that people would have fucking loved it. And not to say people don't love it now, but it would have really went viral for people, especially if it told its own really compelling self-contained story. And a remake trilogy that was already divisive, yeah.
Where are we?
Oh, you have to ask. Why, Ignis Keep, of course. Otherwise known as the current residence of your precious crystal. Have I piqued your curiosity? You must have so many questions. Seek the answers yourself, if you dare.
If his word is good, then he's brought me to Regalia. The question is why? What's his game?
Kind of sad how the only time Raver survives is in this what if scenario, and not even in Dawn of the Future is he spared. Yeah.
Blessed was the man born for the throne, yet he, so impure of heart, was denied by the stone and cast into ignominy. Feeding on the dusk and embracing the darkness, he spurned the dawn, affecting a life untouched by time.
Whose voice is this?
Through the coming of night eternal, he now seeks to exact vengeance upon his own blood.
Vengeance upon his own blood. Is that why?
I don't care if this voice is meant to be Luna, but it's clearly her VA doing the work.
To the soul of our star, cradle to the king, destined to serve as vessel of its light. Gods and men alike awaited the coming of the chosen as they fought to fend off darkness blight. For he and he alone would possess the power to purge our star of its scourge.
Noct really must be the chosen king after all.
Maybe it's the moon goddess? I mean, bro, maybe it's like... I don't know. Maybe it's meant to be Era, right? Before they casted Era and did... But I don't know. It's Etra. Every mysterious female voice in this game, you guys say it's Etra. It can't all be Etro. I'm lying. It definitely can all be Etro.
There he is. After him.
My uncle works at Etro. Oh.
Once the sacred ring is replete with power, the true king will complete his ascension. Only then can he banish the blight upon our star. By the power of the light alone is the chosen king made manifest. With the glaive of kings, the stone of legend, and the ring of light in hand, the chosen's power will surpass that of even the gods themselves. By that self-same power, with the true king as its vessel, the darkness shall be purged from our star, and dawn shall return to our world once more.
Why does the ring in the crystal make the King of Light more powerful than the gods? Actually. Does that make sense as a question? Ask the moon? Yeah. But yeah, because like, why does the crystal... Wasn't the crystal given to them? Yeah, the crystal was given to the Lucian line by the gods, right? So... why does the crystal then make them more powerful than the gods? And the gods... Maybe I just don't know the lore that well, but I'm thinking about that and I just find that really interesting. Is Comrade still playable? Yes. The moon was likely the big missing puzzle piece to a lot of the lore questions. Yeah, because it was cut so late.
Yes, but my aims extend beyond the boy. He's more of a means to an end. I suppose I never revealed my proper name, so allow me to introduce myself. Lucis Kylo.
The Founder King?
If only. No, that would be my dear brother, who snatched the throne and cast me into exile. I've never been called your majesty before.
Why does he say the
My
Founder
allegiance
King?
lies with the true king alone.
Well then, off with your head.
Literally, wait. No, wait. Why does he say the Founder King, chat? Why does he say that? Because he doesn't do the research in the tomes until the 10-year time skip, right? Like, he doesn't go back to the tombs and, like, whatever the fuck they said, look into it, until that 10-year gap. And Arden's name was wiped from history. So, like, actually, why does he mix up Arden with Somnus? Well, unless... You'll never guess whose name Azunia was. I think there actually is an answer to that. I can't remember, but like, yeah. Yeah. But they never really make it apparent at all in the game. It might be a mistranslation I play. Oh, okay. Like he's trying to say Arden is one. Oh, okay. Maybe so. Has to be.
You see, the revenge I seek is not upon the boy. I only wish to punish the crystal that cast me aside in favor of that insufferable fool. He's certainly taking his sweet time ascending as its champion, though. Would there were a way to expedite the process! Oh!
This world means nothing to me. Do with it as you wish.
How did you get your hands on that?
But I refuse to let Noctis sacrifice his life to save ours. I won't let you take him away. Even if it costs my own life to save him. I will pay that price!
Take care not to hurt yourself.
Kino.
If the boy is you have to undergo a few more trials first, and I intend to help.
Super Saiyan Ignis is so cool. Not as cool as this fucking battle theme, though. Fuck.
I'm afraid you're no match for me.
Oh, that's the wrong button. My bad.
Prepare yourself.
Is that ever gonna land? Not at this rate. Wow, the ring's enchantment wore off. Probably shouldn't have used that elixir, but it's fine. If thou dost wish to save the king, a sacrifice must be made. Which one do you choose again? I'll go ahead and sacrifice my life. Your sacrifice has granted you access to the full power of the ring? Okay, sweet. Over, except when he always teleports when I high jump. Let's see. No! Fuck! I just want to high jump him. Okay, it's not happening. Ah, I got him. Yay, let's go.
Prepare yourself! Don't do it all. Well, it's over! I'm afraid you're no match for me.
Bro is like literally at 1 HP saying that. What the fuck? Only a B? Wow, okay, thanks, Mom.
The best laid plans, eh? It may have eluded me for now, but rest assured, I shall have my revenge.
Ignis!
Ravis. He lent us a hand, if you can believe it.
What the hell were you thinking?
How could we let this happen?
How could I let this happen? This is all my fault. No. If I'm really some kind of savior, why can't I save the ones I love? I'm sorry. You guys have stayed with me this whole time. And all it's done is caused you pain. Not anymore. All that ends now. Please! Lend me your strength! Help me! Protect my friends!
He can just do this, by the way. And like, if the crystal can do this, how come Noctis can't heal Ignis's blindness in the main timeline, right? This isn't just like an alternate course of events. This changes the fucking lore.
Listen well.
Vomit controls the crystal, I'm pretty sure, right?
Still. A king pushes onward always, accepting the consequences and never looking back.
So it's not up to Noctis, it's up to Bahamut? Yeah, that makes sense. But then, if Bahamut controls the crystal, why is it that the crystal and the ring together surpasses the power of the gods, right? That means it would surpass Bahamut's power. And then so we come back to why does... I mean, what the fuck? The most Mitsuda song in this OST? Yeah. I mean, this is the most Mitsuda song. This is very him. I like these scenes that they made it to fill in the blanks of what happens as the world falls to darkness. Yeah. Team Ignis, let's go.
It's been a long road, but at last we've arrived.
Yeah. Prompto. Gladio. Iggy.
For 10 years, everything we've done was in preparation for this day.
And today, we finish it.
Right.
Today, we walk tall together.
So what you're saying is that if he had fought the final boss with all of his party members, then everything would have turned out okay, and it wouldn't have been so bad. Also insane that Ravis gets an older character model for this moment. This actually would have been better. This would have been a better scene in the game and a better course of events than what happened. I do agree that it ends like a little fanfiction-y in terms of the happiness, but I think for Ravis, that would have been a better ending than the game itself. I think Bahamut was just in a good mood, but it was never explicitly stated that Arden was truly permanently killed off. It's hard to say what happens at the end here, and I guess they wanted you to fill in the blanks on your own. Yeah. Also, like, how the fuck does this happen? Like, any of this? I still don't really understand the implications of this ending because it does not fucking make sense, bro. Like, nothing about it makes sense. possibilities. And it's just so funny because it like literally does not make sense with the game's lore at all. Like it does not mesh with like what happened in the game whatsoever. Like how does that happen? Like literally how lore wise, how does that happen like at all? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's fun. I like thinking about it, but I don't think they knew how to write a cohesive story for this game to save their lives. I think that they were trying to rewrite a story that only the first arc of that story was fully complete and fully fleshed out. And then adding on to that, they just also really didn't know how to write that well, to be honest. And they didn't really know how to make a really compelling story, and they had a deadline, and all those things added up. FF15 is better than 16. Change my mind. Both are meh, though. Yeah, they are kind of both. But I mean, at the same time, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I would say whether it's better or not, but I'll say this instead. I'll say that I get more enjoyment from playing 15 than I do 16, but I would understand the argument that people feel that 16's the better game between the two, because I do think that there is an argument there, and that argument comes up every time I have to press buttons in 15. Every time I have to do more combat in 15, I do think that 16's combat feels better. There's just better game feel in Final Fantasy 16 than 15 for sure. Okay, let's get the Regalia Type F. Actually, before we do that, before we do all that, I'm sorry, I just want to go back to their normal clothes. We'll do this when shit hits the fan again, but honestly, I just like their default style. You have AP to spin. We have a lot of AP. I feel like spending it on Elementy makes the most sense. We'll worry about that later, though. Increase magic potency. Yeah, I think that's what we should do, honestly. Also, I think best said is that 15 is the better RPG, but 16 is the better action game. That's how I would express the difference between the two. Have you played Ghost of Yote? I have not yet. Let's see. Parking spot. Do we have Sydney as like a fast travel? 15 has terrible boss fights compared to 16. Maybe a hot take, but I don't think the boss fights in either game are like particularly like great. Because I think with
Great range of wares here.
16's boss fights are also they have a similar problem to this game for me, where they're spectacle driven but they're not driven by interesting or like fun mechanics
Works for me.
for the most part. Most of like
Hey, Noct.
16's bosses are
Coming
dodge
or what?
laser, and like most of 15's boss fights again are really not that notable outside of the DLC super bosses.
Some sizable seismic activity down south near Longwife.
Yeah, sizable seismic, indeed.
It's
Lots
the
of
darndest thing.
activity.
I never felt so much as a rumble
The
around
camera's
these
doing that
parts.
on its own. It's
A lot
not
of
me, I
folks
promise.
worried. Got me worried too. Ain't easy tuning up a shaking chassis. Anywho, hope
A
Dave and
shaking
y'all can
what?
do something. Well, ain't you a sight for sore eyes? What's that you got there?
Kinda hoping you could tell me.
Bet your britches I can. Y'all must have traveled around the world and back again if you managed to get your hands on one of those. Okay, give me a little alone time with the old girl. Once I install this baby in her, y'all ain't gonna recognize her. Off you go now. I reckon you'll be seeing the world from a brand new point of view.
So when you really look at the Regalia Type F, this design looks very similar to the design of the Regalia for Versus. I think they kind of just reused that design, to be honest, for the most part.
Everything in order?
Yep.
Oh wait, no, I don't want to resume. No, 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 no.
Hey, who's up for a bite?
Everybody out. I have also thought this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just mostly reused the design from Versus and like Batmobile. No, it's meant to look like the Batmobile for sure. My theory with Versus is that the Regalia was also going to be the airship for Versus maybe. But I think that like it was going to be like an FF8 type moment, and it was going to be like, wait, the car can fly? My
Let's
dad
hit it.
never told me that. And then it was going to be like a huge surprise when you find out like, oh shit.
Everybody out.
Oh fuck, I didn't mean we go through this every time. Okay.
We're out of here.
Yeah. So I think that like I think the idea was that the Regalia was always meant to fly, and they basically took that from Versus. Let's see if I can find the song I want to find. Wait, no, we don't have it. Do we? Maybe we do. Wait. No. I'm looking for the High Wind Takes the Disguise. Bear Boy, what's good, my guy? Do we have High Wind Takes the Disguise? We do!
Whoa! This is awesome. Taking the high road.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Oh, let me make sure I have footage of this. Now, this is how I feel. This is how I want part 3. You know, to feel, minus the fucking landing part. Copyright is gonna get your ass. I guess I'll just remove it after. Fuck it. If it does. I don't think High Wind Takes the Disguise is like an off-limit song though. I've used it in my videos and it's been fine. But this is like the best song to play for like an airship taking off. Everything except landing this thing is like really fucking cool. I really wish the game had more secret landing areas for the Regalia Type F. Me too. Damn, this is so cool to see. As we fly over it. Dude, imagine if they finished the other continent too, right? Yeah, it really is just Pitioss, right? Because otherwise, this is in every way inferior to just fast traveling. And also, too, I think it's really lame that this is only a post-game thing that's not even, like, really canon, if you think about it. I also hate that they made this thing so fucking difficult to land that I fear every time that I do land that it's going to be game over and we can't save in the air. So that's actually pretty concerning. Actually, I forget where Pitioss is even supposed to be located. So maybe I need to like look at a map. Where the fuck is it even at? You look for the yellow line near the volcano? Hey, let me actually just look it up, because I don't fucking remember. Southwest, zoom in, it's right there. Okay, so I am headed the right direction. Is it map? Is it? Wait. So it's over here? Higher up? By the volcano? Well, that wouldn't be southwest, I guess, at that point. Too high? I guess so it's in the direction I'm headed, like near the Rock of Ravito? Actually, let me just look on the... Even with the yellow line, you can't see it? No, bro, I can't see... Oh, this yellow line here? Is that what you're talking about? Why won't it allow me to mark it? This is cool as shit, and I don't think this will ever not be cool as shit. Oh shit. We're going slightly. We need to head up. Slightly, I think. Like, I really disagree with, the assumption that Yoshi P previously had, where he was like, about like open world stuff. Wait, Kingdom Trigger, actually, I'm sorry, I missed your super chat. Why do you think 90% of the cutscenes in Rebirth have good cinematography, and FF16 has lower quality cutscenes 50% of the time? Difference in budget or talent? So what I think happened with that is that I think that FF16 expended, and this is just my estimation on it, so I may or may not be correct about this, but I would assume that FF16 spent most of its budget on the icon fights, and one of the ways in which they saved money was by having was by making those quests like by making all the other cutscenes not so well fleshed out. Do I need to land on Begun its Descent? Okay. Do I need to land there? On this strip of road? That's the road? Yeah, okay. Fuck. And we're cooked. Oh, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And they put rocks on both sides. They put rocks on both sides, brothers. To make sure that you died. And here it comes. Here it goes. No. We all knew it. Damn, I had to go back and do the Regalia type F and... Damn. Just landing it, I feel like, is gonna be brutal. Fuck, do we have to fly all the way back? Okay. At least we know where it is now.
Ready for more?
You bet.
Let's hit it.
You can't turn that sharp into it, gotta go back and straight line into it? Yeah, that's the only way. Wait, fuck, I didn't mean to hit park. Fuck, not park.
Hey, I'm gonna hit the shop.
Yeah, let's stock up on everything.
Just fast travel to the area first? Oh yeah, you're right, okay. Smart move, okay. Oh, we gotta talk to the car. You can tell we had a week off because I already forgot how to play the game. Many such cases with me. Can I do parking spot? The Rock of Ravito. God mode would be easier. I don't think God mode will allow you to survive. Oh, you're right. I was saying God mode wouldn't allow me to survive the Regalia, but we can skip that altogether and just God mode in the Pitioss. You're right. But I feel like that's cheating. So we can't.
Let's hit it.
All right.
But you're right, we could God mode into it. And that would be fucking funny.
Whoa! This is awesome.
Taking the high road.
Where we're going?
Need roads.
Wait, save first? It's already too late, brother. We auto-saved from the fast travel, I think. Okay. Okay. Why won't it go down? Nope. It's too late. Okay. I'm trying to figure why when I hit the begin descent, it doesn't like... Okay, there we go. Oh, man. Okay.
Everybody out.
Let's go. Fuck you, Tag. I did it. Let's go.
Knocked. Overhead.
Y'all just love to hate. That's all. Wait, why do we only have Sword of the Father equipped? But even considering the icon fights, isn't it crazy that Rebirth has a way bigger, complex open world, but also features 15 hours of high-quality cutscenes? Thank you so much again for the Super Chat, Kingdom Trigger. This is something I've honestly spent a lot of time thinking about personally, too. It is kind of confounding, right? Like, it's like, why is it that Rebirth has so much high-quality stuff with, like, all of its more minute details compared to, or maybe not minute details, but like anything that's not an icon fight in 16. And I still don't know myself, because I would think that 16 and Rebirth would get equal amounts of budget approved. So it's always been like really strange to me that the difference. It could also be Unreal Engine, so it was easier for them to develop all that stuff for Rebirth. Yeah, that's also pretty good estimation, but yeah. Didn't it come out that 16 had a bigger budget? We don't have any reliable estimations on the game's budgets, honestly. So we don't know how much Rebirth cost or 16 cost. 3DIP put out their own estimation, but I don't think that's accurate either. Not unless you believe that in basically 3 years that FF16's only sold 250,000 copies, which I find hard to believe. So we don't know, honestly.
Yep, that's that. Oh yeah.
We don't know, but I will say that 16's NPC, like, side quest scenes and, like, all the scenes in between an icon fight, for as much as they talked about being able to hold, like, the attention of a younger audience, I cannot imagine a younger audience not taking out their phone during a lot of 16's B-tier cutscenes where it's just doing shot reverse NPC scenes. Like, I just have a really difficult time imagining that, because those scenes are so... What's the word for it? They're not engaging, right? I mean, you can argue that they're engaging from, like, a writing perspective and all this other stuff, maybe, right? But if the goal is to capture the TikTok generation, I am hard-pressed to believe that those scenes are going to achieve that, personally.
I think I could handle this.
I would think that you need to be stimulating the whole game. Vivian's map demonstrations? Yeah. I don't think that, like... I don't think that that design is going to work for, again, the TikTok generation, which is, like, what they're emphasizing so much. And it's just like, do you guys know that, like, game design extends outside of combat? Is that... is that a known thing for them? Do they know that? That's kind of how I felt with the whole situation. Am I going the right way, by the way? I haven't done Pitioss before, so I assume I am, but... Oh man, I was falling asleep during the Vivian sections. I could not care less about the Vivian sections personally. Like, that was just not interesting to me at all. I hate fucking flyers in this game. To hell with you. Fucking literally, bro. What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Notice how I don't care about the no items run anymore. Oh god, we all have confuse on, okay. Or at least I do, so I can't switch characters. Watch this miss. Oh, it didn't.
Was that perfect or what?
I'll give you that.
And I also think, and like, again, I understand that the counter argument for this would be something lowest common denominator, but we've already decided that we have to appeal to the lowest common denominator, so I don't think that's like a good counter argument for this. But like, in terms of like appealing to a younger generation and then a generation without the same sort of attention span and patience to play games that aren't action and aren't online, then I'm just thinking, like, do you really think they're gonna know what Logos and Muthos are? You know? That's also kind of a story directorial choice that I found a bit confounding.
Alright, you hate bugs.
Me? Yeah, can't stand them.
Same here. Icky.
I am going the right direction, right? I have never done Pitioss before. This is my first time. I just watched other people do it because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm not doing that shit myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. And now here I am, years later, doing that shit. Kingdom Trigger, thank you for another super. Do you remember when Yoshi P's earliest comments on 16 was that it'd be a roller coaster that never lets off the gas? In hindsight, that comment is pretty fucking funny because I feel like the game was very much the opposite. What the fuck? Are you serious? Yeah, I feel like the game itself was very much the opposite from being like a roller coaster ride. If that was their intention, I don't think they really achieved that personally. But yeah, I do remember that, and I was thinking the game was going to be non-stop action from beginning to end, and I don't think that's how a game felt. Oh my fucking god, bros. Well, they are way higher level than us. That makes sense.
Sorry to break this up.
We should probably ascend.
One shot. One time. Sure thing. Do it, Prompto. Okie dokie.
Wow. Me and Noctis both. You might want to switch to Gladio for these. Hold on, let me do my favorite thing first.
Watch yourself, Noctis. I know. Take
Let's go. Let's go. Dissidia Duellum gameplay. Let's go! Okay, let's try Gladio.
Any last words?
Why did they stop? I feel like they don't give a fuck anymore. Oh yeah, I was forgetting about Trigger Happy, you're right.
Try this.
All those bullets broke their AI? Dude, it did. They stopped moving. Bro, why did their AI break? Maybe it's because Noctis died? Oh, true. But certainly the game has to factor that in, right?
What did you expect?
Dude, the AI stopped.
Try this. Any last words? Get back.
That's so crazy. Try reviving Noctis. Oh, Phoenix down. Let's see if that fixes it. Wait, I think it did. I think it did. Yeah. Yeah, that did it. Holy shit, what a funny ass bug. Oh my god, yeah, it did. It fixed it. If Noctis dies? Dang, that's crazy. Wait, is there still an enemy? Oh, there is. Holy fuck.
Not a moment too soon.
This game is still so fucking buggy, bro. We've had so many crazy funny bugs like while playing this. It's so funny. Normally that isn't meant to happen. Never seen it before. Yeah, me neither. That is so fucking funny, dude. Holy shit. Wow. Okay.
I hate it.
Congrats. That was the easiest part of Pitioss. I believe it. Oh shit, we can train with Aranea now.
I'll see what I can whip
Let's
up.
go. I don't want to use our good food yet, because we're gonna train with Ari, and then we're gonna sleep again. Train with Aranea in a fight. In a fight? No, brother. I'm gonna train with Aranea in the mating press. What the fuck? I know you made a video about it, but how do you feel about DQ12 direction and all? I think they were going to do a really serious, dark, mature Dragon Quest game based on fire, and we were gonna have that, and I feel like we just had a Final Fantasy game like that, and I think that maybe not having a Dragon Quest game like that is actually like good for the sake of like not retreading the same thing twice, but Dragon Quest edition, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, holy shit. Kingdom Trigger, thank you for another insane super chat, my guy. Thank you so much. Do you agree that the following two groups are the only ones invested in FF? 1, old people like me who love FF 6 through 10 so much that we still tune in. 2, shippers, cosplayers, TikTok editors, the casual FF fans have fucked off. I think that... I mean, yeah, for the most part, basically, that only the hardcore FF fan is still around. And I mean that even in, like, the jaded sense, too, right? Like, the jaded hardcore FF fan is still here, but they're not happy. And then you have the kind of, like, other type of FF fan that you were describing, where they're, like, the hardcore... the cosplayers like I used to be, and we're the ones that have been with the series for forever. FF is life and stuff like that, and this is what we do. But yeah, I think that if you're not that, there's not like much of a casual
but it'll take a little more than that to impress
FF audience anymore, and I think, yeah, that's kind of the problem. Maybe like the whole problem, honestly. And they're trying to recapture that audience, but it seems like in the process of doing so, they're just kind of pissing off a lot of their existing audience too. And I think that they have to find a balance between their existing audience. Oh fuck, that's right, it ends if you get knocked out. Between their existing audience and also trying to find that new audience as well. But I don't think you can forsake your existing audience in pursuing a new one. I think that you have to do both. You have to make sure that your longtime audience is satisfied and your potential new audience is. Why not turn RNA into a stick figure? Can you do that? Wait, no, I want to do this.
Too slow. Just warming up.
So,
Well,
Not bad. But it'll take a little more than that to impress me, Prince Charming.
oh, I love when she calls me Prince Charming, bro. Oh wait, I didn't mean to retry. But well, I'll just let her kill me. I didn't mean to retry. Oh no, RNA, stop, no. Don't beat my ass.
You don't stand a chance against the demons, not like that.
RNA is one of the few bosses in FF15 that are actually properly designed and take advantage of something like warp striking. Warp striking is such a cool mechanic, and like literally nothing fucking happens with it in this game, and it's really sad.
See what you can do.
There's no way we can win this.
Major piece. Pathetic.
Let's try one more time.
Major piece.
Yeah, I'll try the Moogle Chocobo Carnival. We'll see if we can bring back Assassin's Creed 2. Dang, bros. It's okay. We'll come back to this, actually.
It's not like that.
We'll come back to Aranea. We're here for Pitioss. I think I'm good on fighting you guys.
Got it.
Oh, fuck. I'm good on fighting these guys, too, honestly. Motherfucker. Wait, am I going the right direction? Wait. I am not. This is the right way.
Marbles.
Oh my fucking god. And we're running low on healing items relatively.
For a fight.
Let's see. Yeah, I know I won't need them for Pitioss, but it's just something that we need to get more of anyway, whenever we have a chance. I'm good. Door only opens at night. You guys forget we have the mod menu, so we can always make it night whenever we want. Mickey, thank you for the super chat. What do you think of the Persona 6 leaks? I'm not the biggest fan of the protagonist design, but I think he has like a lot of potential to grow on me for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty open to it. I'm just glad to have finally seen Persona 6 something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just glad that we actually seen like something of Persona 6.
The color's amazing.
Like, so for me, I'm happy to see it. The protagonist is like not what I expected, but I do feel like there's a reason they designed him like that, and it's gonna end up being interesting, I feel, for sure. So yeah, I'm excited for Persona 6. I think Persona 6 and Kingdom Hearts 4 are like my most anticipated games right now. I'm honestly probably more excited for Persona 6 than I am Final Fantasy 17, if I'm being brutally honest. And I think the reason goes without saying, but I'll say it. The reason is because I know that Persona 6 is going to be like a video game of a certain style and quality that I love and adore. And I don't know that about FF17, if I'm being real. Wait, what the fuck is this? Oh, I see. Here we go. Ancient Solheim training ground situated in the southwestern Klein and shrouded in mystery. Hidden among the mountains and conspicuously missing from all conventional maps, these ruins appear to have been all but forgotten in the modern age. Traveling the world is sure to open one's eyes in the sheer variety of climates and cultures around Eos. But the one thread tying all lands together is the presence of particular stone structures. The toppled tower and shattered statues seen across the continent are testaments to the artistry and ingenuity of those who came before us. Pitioss may indeed stand as Solheim's crowning achievement. But the most incredible aspect of the ancient technology is its ability to seemingly manipulate time-space as we know it. Based on current scientific understanding, every bend in the fabric of our universe must be counterbalanced elsewhere, and scholars suspect these ruins might be the space in which those interdimensional kinks are worked out. Okay. Oh, that's right. It's got to be nighttime. Save game before interest. True.
Well, Noct, how did you fare?
Fair? Well, there's nothing fair about that place. I give up.
Well, winners never quit, and quitters never win.
Well, that's that's reassuring. That's reassuring. We're gonna have a great time.
Well, Noct,
we're gonna have a great.
How did you fare?
Fair? Well, there's nothing fair about that place. I give up.
Well, winners never quit, and quitters never win.
Persona 6 will only have my attention if it breaks the Persona formula established in 3. I do think that they need to take a really big swing with the next Persona, for sure. There has to be something interesting going on in terms of the gameplay loop. Because it can't just be more of the same, right? Like, it can't just be a better P3. I feel like we already got our fill of that with Persona 5 with Metaphor, and yeah. Okay, we're gonna begin Pitioss. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. This is definitely a dungeon that I need to do on an empty bladder, so give me 1 second. Okay. Let's fucking do it, boys. She's off to the little Etro room. That's fucking awesome. Okay. This is real simple. This is just like playing Super Mario, okay? You just gotta run through it. Hold the B button, alright? Real simple. I think anyone could get through this. Yo, what the fuck is this?
Great. Just great.
You missed the gifted subs? Oh, wait, what the fuck? There was gifted subs? Wait. Oh, shit, Black Lion Guard, thank you so much. Shit, I didn't even see it. Thank you so much, Black Lion Guard, thank you. Props to you for going for it. Dang, holy shit, that's how you know, bro. I said I would give you subs if you did Pitioss. Okay, this is how you know, bro, because the fact that you're gifting subs for me trying Pitioss, I'm fucking scared now. Just for trying? God damn, bro. Clearly this is some shit that I've seen before, brother. I've played Elden Ring, okay? And I know I know what that shit does, okay? And okay. What a stupid ass game, bro. Stupid ass game. Baby ass game, bro. They think I can't do it? They think I can't do this shit, bro.
Cake, baby. Cake, baby.
Cake, baby.
Cake, baby.
Cake, baby. Cake, baby. Okay. Let's just let's see what we got here. Okay, we got, yeah. I mean, okay. And that's gonna be important later. Maybe. Okay, let's hit the face. I think I did hit the face, but oh, I didn't hit the face enough. I did not hit the face. Okay, let's see. Okay. So you hit the face. And then you walk over here and then you see the naked man. And you get the 10 metal scraps, see? And then this. Easy. Easy. Fucking baby game, bro. Fucking baby game. Fucking little baby ass video game. Mostly made for babies. Mostly. I mean, you can be an adult and play it, I guess. But they really had babies in mind when they were making it. So, I mean, it is technically a baby game, you know what I'm saying? So, NSP thinks he'll finish it in 30 minutes. Maybe 15, you know? Depends on how big I want my balls to be today. I'm thinking extra fat, but we'll find out. We'll find out. They maybe just fat light, I'm thinking. But you know, I don't want to make anyone feel insecure about how big they're. Where the fuck do I even go? I have gone in a circle here. Let's see. Because I looped around and I came back there. Okay. Well then what the fuck? What am I missing? Bro is about to be humble. You need to go up and open a new path. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I see. I had hoped this would become an FF staple. Let's see. Well, I can't go that way. And we can't go this way because we don't. So what do we do? And that's like back down to where we've already been. I wonder how much we should help you. That's up to y'all, but like some general advice on where to go would probably make this a more entertaining stream for you. But I probably will figure it out.
Gotta be a way.
All right, everybody. That's the stream for the day. I hope y'all have really enjoyed episode Ignis Verse 2. And I will see you on Monday, where we begin our playthrough of Final Fantasy 16-2. Until next time, I'm the Night Sky Prince. And I hope you all have a lovely... Oh wait, is that like literally where we came? What the fuck? I'm like turned around. Okay. Oh, I see. And this is the shortcut, so we don't have to go back. Because I kept looping through there. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a checkpoint at first. Now I do realize that. That it's a checkpoint. Okay. 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 Mundane is he's gonna say he finished off stream because it's easy content. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think you guys would find this one easy. I like find this like good content because it's so easy. I'm literally just mashing the X button the entire time. This is like... It's so brain dead, bros. And I also love how this is built around the fact that they know how bad they're platforming and the fact that they assigned the jump button to the pickup item button. And like, they just leaned in to how cooked the design was and said, yo, what if we just like... What if we just made a whole fucking ass dungeon around how bad this shit actually was to use? Which I kind of admire in some ways, because I'm kind of like, that is kind of cool. Yeah, they embraced the troll. Yeah, for real. See, baby game, you can't even die in this shit because it's so easy, bro. Is this like the first fucking actual treasure chest in this game? Like for real treasure chest? Because I have not seen a fucking treasure chest in this game. Okay. Okay. You should look what that kneeling statue looks like. Yeah, it looks like it's got a nice ass on it. That's really interesting. What's the lore? I don't think they ever explicitly said. Yeah, literally the devil? Yeah. I was gonna say, is this supposed to be like a representation of Ifrit? I don't know. Roy Mustang, thank you for another super chat. I'm worried Persona 6 as it is. I'm worried about Persona 6 as it does not have Hoshino as the director. Meguro left Atlas in 2021, so I'm not sure if he is the composer of P6. Yeah, it's definitely gonna have a new composer, and well, maybe actually, because Meguro, even though he left Atlas, he's still a freelancer. So much like Uematsu can still compose, then it's still possible. But yeah, Hoshino not being the director is pretty worrying. But this is also the same people who did Persona 5 Royal, I believe. The new team behind that. And I thought that Royal was pretty damn good. Pretty exceptional, right? So... What the fuck? Let's see, where do we go from here? It can't be... Or well... What if I just God mode it right now? Would y'all all unsub? No, I'm just kidding. The glowing... Wait, do I have to hit it? Do I have to press that glowing panel? Is that how that works? Okay. Yeah, I remember watching Pez's like lore breakdown of this back in the day, but like whenever I saw people doing this, I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. All panels should be activated? Okay. And then, yeah, now here I am doing all that. And honestly, it's not so damn bad, I think. Do I just... Okay. Now, let's see. Maybe if I fall down on top of the ball. You're gonna eat your words? Oh no. Brother. Brother. Bro, this is the tutorial. Oh no. No. Come on now, chat. There's another way you could go. I'm pretty sure you just went straight for the item. Okay, wait. Fuck. Fuck me. No. God damn it. God damn it. Okay. Wait, I'm supposed to enter, but I already entered that. Didn't I? Oh, is that a shorter shortcut than the way I'm going? But wait, I went through here and that just leads back here. You look like you're in a Breath of the Wild shrine. You can go to the right. Wait. To the right. Oh, shit. Okay, thanks. I did not notice that. We can't open this door yet, I assume. Okay, correct assumption. Correct assumption. Okay. Okay. But watch this shit, Rose. If you just simply jump. Okay, nice. Okay. Nice. See? That's that Kingdom Hearts fucking platforming shit, bros. That's that heart of the kingdom in the air. Hit the attack button shit. Okay. This is what I'm about to do to RNA. Okay. Nope. Okay. So now this game, one of the things about it is that when you press the jump button, you gotta land on the platform, right? Final Fantasy 15 is an incomplete disaster and should never be played. It is the worst Final Fantasy ever made, ever. And Tabata should be ashamed of himself, and everyone who worked on this should hold their head so fucking low right now, bro. So fucking low. So low. So fucking low, bro. One of gaming's biggest tragedies ever. And And they made you pay for the DLC, chat. They made you pay. They made you fucking pay. And they couldn't finish the damn game. Sad. I fucking hate this game. Release the Versus files. God. Okay. Fuck. Fucking hate Final Fantasy 15. This game does not deserve the Final Fantasy name at all. At all, it does not deserve the Final Fantasy name. It does not. It does not deserve the Final Fantasy name. Bitch ass. Fucking. Okay. 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 I mean, I thought 15 was kind of underrated, honestly. A lot of people, you know, they shit on it, and I think that, like, you know, it wasn't the worst Final Fantasy. You know, I think it was kind of underrated. You know, and you have to think about how stressful the environment was for everyone working on it. So really, you know, I mean, yeah, there's DLC, you know, but they tried to complete it, bro. They did. They made this shit with love, and you know, honestly, fuck the haters, bro. Fuck the haters, because the haters deserve to have sex sometimes, because this game sucks. And oh fuck. What was the worst Final Fantasy? That depends on if I make this jump or not. Let me find out. Let me find out. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. So I don't think 15 was the worst one. I think 15 was just, it was underappreciated, and for what it is, with all the DLCs and all the updates, it's not bad. It's not bad. Wait, this is the one we already pressed. So that's not it. What the fuck? Where do we go next? Where do we go next? Where do we go next? You need to go back up? Oh, okay, yeah. Because I did press a button. I suppose the easiest way would just be to fall off the cliff and just, yeah, spawn back up here. Okay, I think we haven't gone over here. The guide video for this dungeon on YouTube has 1.4 million views. That's actually crazy to see for a guide. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Cause like one of the things we were talking about is that like, yeah, like I think that like 16's guide's kind of capped like a little bit low. But 1.4 million for a guide, that's crazy. That is crazy. I don't think any other Final Fantasy guide ever made has that many views. That's crazy. That is one thing I hope for Final Fantasy 17, that it has content that's so brutally hard. And it could be optional, but it's so brutally hard that there is content that millions of people are like looking up to like figure out.
That's the trick.
Jesus. Okay. So. No head? Okay. Let's keep going. Finally, some music. This is kind of unrelated, but maybe someone here will get it. But in the Dragon Quest XII trailer, threads I saw people shitting on Nomina for not releasing Versus 13 for some reason. It made me so mad. Wait, why are people shitting on Nomina for Versus with fucking Dragon Quest 12? That's so crazy, bro. That was so crazy. Okay. Okay. Easy. The butterflies in this dungeon are really mysterious too. Yeah, because you don't see butterflies really throughout anywhere in this game, right? So their symbolism is lost on me here. Wait. Oh. Did I just grab that through the fence? Huh. Okay. Neither here nor there. But I'm pretty sure I did just grab that through the fence. At least that's how it looked to me. It probably wasn't. I'm probably bullshitting. Wait, should I? No, actually, you're not supposed to. That's cool. Oh. Okay. Oh. Now there's a ball. Okay, well, you know what they say. Ball is life. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to... And this just even makes it even easier, honestly. Because you just go like that, and then... It's good. It's good, you know? Easy. I don't think you can make that jump. No. The lore of this dungeon feels like it was made for an entirely different version of this story. And there are so many versions of this story that who could even fucking say, you know? But that's interesting. And this is where we came from, right? So that was cool. Your 23 months Twitch post didn't work? Really? Why not? That's weird. Twitch bugging out. Interesting. Okay, that's not what you're supposed to do, clearly. It's probably relevant to the moon. That would make a ton of sense if this was like meant to connect to whatever the fuck the moon was meant to be. Oh. Need to throw on that Cloister of Trials banger to help you solve things faster. Yeah. Because this shit has me like... Okay, but wait. So we already went through there. And we made this thing roll. So then... And then that's back to where we started. And then I'll just die because death is cool. If you're not a loser. And it'll send me back here, which is further back for some reason. And then I'll just die again because... Oh my fucking god. Okay. Real simple. Real simple. Man, what the fuck do I do next? Oh! That was easy. I knew that the whole fucking time. I was testing y'all to see how loyal you were. If you would help me when I needed it most. Unfortunately, all of you failed. And that's why I'm going to shove you up Satan's ass here. There is no fucking way that that's the jump I need to make. Ah, fuck. That is the jump I need to make, isn't it? No! Please let there be something else. That's the jump I need to make. You don't need to jump there, though? I don't? Good. I need to do something else up here. Oh, I know. I need to run up the Sonic Ball. No. Okay. Fuck. You do need to get on top of it, but not like that. Oh. Bro, I already understand. Say less, say less. Fuck. There's a little ledge thing in there. There's a little ledge thing in there. And I get it. I got it, bro. And then as it turns... Bro, I know physics, alright? Some people say that I know physics so well that I'm physical, alright? I'm a physics expert. And let me tell you, as a physics expert, I know well how this works. What did I tell you, brothers? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Easy. My God. A Final Fantasy for first timers and babies alike, bro. Oh, you need to jump down into the center? Okay. Okay. Fuck. Well, I guess the fastest way down. Oh, what's on the left side, I think? That'd be interesting. Oh, well. Dang, if you don't land on there, then you just gotta get fucked just like that. Dang. Okay. Let's just jump, and then we jump, and then... Oh my gosh. Which that allows us to easily go back over here and try that again. Unless we fuck... Okay. Fuck. I wonder what the speedrun record for Pitioss is. Do people speedrun Pitioss? I think that'd be like a crazy fucking stream to watch. Oh my god. Yep, they do. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like that's a crazy speed run. But also, I think that like you have to be... Oh my god, you have to be a straight fucking masochist. Why did it send me back further for that? I don't understand. Why is it so glitchy? You have to be a straight fucking masochist to speedrun this though, I feel. Is Final Fantasy 16 an underrated masterpiece? Today we discuss oh shit. Okay. Yeah, this shit is easy, bro. All you gotta do is just... We should react to Final Fantasy 15 as a mediocre disappointment by Super Eye Patch Wolf. I thought that was a great video where he broke down why this game is ass and why you should never play it. Oh my fucking god. This game is so fucking underrated, bros. So fucking underrated. Okay. I hate that there's a delay when picking up items. Like that. What the fuck is the point of that, though? That's not even a shortcut. It's just items. Which is nice. But I thought we were gonna get like... I just realized you can't save in the dungeon, so we either have to like, to save your progress, you either have to leave, or... yeah, you have to just leave. Which is fucking crazy. Hopefully there are ways, like, checkpoints back to like get to the beginning faster. I assume there will be, but if you really want to save, you leave. Damn. Dang. Wait, is there an item over there I didn't get? Oh my god. It's not that hard to get back to the beginning? Okay. I was worried because I was thinking like, shit, is it hard to get back? Okay. That's good. I mean, I know it's not from here, but I'm just generally thinking. Kingdom Trigger, thank you for another super chat. One positive thing from FF16 is the natural dialogue and body language for Western audiences. I hope they do English first scripts again. Yeah, it definitely turned out like really well for our sake. I do wonder how Japan felt about that though. I mean, I don't imagine that they hated it. Anything. Fuck this game. But it would be interesting to hear how the Japanese side of fans felt about an English first script. Oh, thank God. Minstar told me they will never do it again. Apparently, the directors were very frustrated by the whole process. Oh, shit. That's crazy. It makes sense that they wouldn't do it again, honestly, though, too. Because I do feel like, I don't know if it makes sense. Because they are working with a Japanese script first, and then they have to translate it to English, and then they have to do all this other stuff. And so basically the English localizer is doing a lot of the story writing himself, which is fine in Koji Fox's case because that's kind of what he does for CS3. But generally speaking, I'm sure that they probably weren't the biggest fans of doing that after they got into the middle of it, because it was probably pretty difficult. We're talking about an English first script for Final Fantasy 17 or anything else done again, like if FF would ever do like an English first script again. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the assumption that FF16 had like the smoothest development ever was just because like literally nothing is known about the development really. And we just equate that with like, well, we didn't know anything about it, so it must have went pretty well. Fuck. Okay, so I was doing the right thing. Okay, you need to jump to the center. That's what I thought. Oh, and that's why it slows down there. Oh shit, let's go. That was actually pretty tight. And then, yep, that allows us to... That allows us to... That allows us to... That allows us to... Cake, baby. Cake, baby. That allows us to... Okay. Kingdom Trigger, another super chat. Thank you so much. I was surprised by comments I saw by Japanese fans that the body language in 7R is too anime. I thought that would only be a Western complaint. Really? If you ever come across those comments again, let me know, because I'd find that very surprising that Japanese fans would complain about that. But I actually just don't like. For me personally, the character expressions being anime is cool. Like, I don't personally get why that's such a big deal. I don't think it's that cringe. I also don't think that they should, like, get rid of their identity as Japanese developers to make it more comfortably Western. Yeah, I feel like 7R's like general expressions were fine. Like, I think that, like, at a certain point you do have to ask, like, do you just not like Japanese style things, right? Because I do feel like, and that's not to say that they can't benefit from any like Western feedback, but like, I do feel like there is that, there's preferring certain styles, and then there's also just being like, yeah, I straight up just don't like Japanese things, and I like the specifically one time in which I interpreted a Japanese thing as more Western than it really was. And then I found out that it was more Japanese, and then now I don't like it, right? Like, I feel like that is the case for some of these people. And I'm not even saying that, like, you have to be, like, the biggest, necessarily, like, weeb ever to enjoy all things, or, like, to enjoy some of these things. And everyone kind of has their own, like, their own barometer for, how realistic it should be, how much Western influence it should take or not take. That's all fair. And I think that those are all valuable discussions when discussed by the right people. But yeah, some people I'm just like, do you like Japanese culture, like, actually? Or, like, because what's going on, right? Like, I feel like you do have to value anime coolness in some capacity. Otherwise, why would you be into any of this? Like, that's like embedded into the culture of how they make games and how they make characters, and so you want like a cool Japanese character, like, but also like not wanting 7R to be that anime is also like a weird kind of, or 7 in general to be that anime. It's such a weird complaint because, you know, like, literally a manga artist, which is more or less what Nomura is, aside from a character designer, is doing the character designs in the world, and so I'm just kind of confused. Kingdom Trigger with another super chat. Yeah, on some YouTube videos, I saw them exaggerating poses of Barret and Yuffie, saying it doesn't work well in more realistic graphics. Okay, that might be a different comment than saying like they don't like the anime poses. To me, that says that they just don't think it meshes well with realism. that's a different argument, and I don't know if I would agree or disagree with it, but I can see where they're coming from. I also think there's something to be said that many people loved FF and JRPG experiences when it was text-based and found the odd voice isms, audio habits of JRPGs with expressions very disorienting from how you imagined it just text reading on screen. Yes, right? And so when it was just text on screen, the way people imagined it was fundamentally different, I think, than what ended up happening. Or like what those characters were intended to be, and how the creators wanted those characters to sound. And I think that's exactly it, Del. Because wouldn't you know it, around the time people started saying that type of thing is, I think, around the time that Final Fantasy X came out. But I think it was okay for Final Fantasy X because voice acting was such a novelty in itself that no one even gave a fuck. Like, people were just, like, really enamored with that novelty alone. And also, 10, for the time, had amazing voice acting. You know, in 2001, I don't think there was as many well voice-acted video games as Final Fantasy X out there, period. But, you know, like I said, anime coolness is required to even find a character like Cloud compelling to begin with. But I mean, also too, like characters like Gustav have anime as hell expression sometimes. Like, there's a moment where Gustav is going like this or something, and it's like literally lifted like from like an anime pose. Anyways, there's this like feeling that people have that like JRPGs are like entirely separate from anime, and I feel like that's just false. I don't think that that is in any capacity true, personally. I fucking hate this game. I fucking hate this game. And they're very in line with each other. Yeah, I think that I think people say that because they have like a very narrow, underdeveloped taste in anime, and that's not to like insult them or anything. I just think that they haven't seen the range that manga and anime actually have, and so they kind of basically they look at like the most popular shonens, and based on those and maybe like Sailor Moon, then decide that they don't like anything else in the genre, and then they see JRPGs as different, right? But I feel like if a JRPG came out and it was like a video game version of Berserk or like Devilman or something like that, they would be like, oh, this shit is so cool and mature, and the art is so interesting. This is so much better than anime or something like that, is what they would probably say. Not realizing how much the art styles vary, and not realizing, again, how much tones vary and stuff like that. I fucking hate this game. But I think that if I was operating under the same pretenses, I would think that JRPGs and anime are very distinct different things, and I probably would say a lot the same. I don't like anime, but I like JRPGs because they're different, right? I probably would think a lot. Fucking hate this game. I probably would think a lot of the same thing, fed that information. But I think once you get out of the most vanilla battle shonen anime, then you kind of realize that there's a lot of good things out there that aren't Final Fantasy 15, you fucking piece of shit. God damn it. I also saw comments from Japan criticizing Nomina's design and being tired of playing as hosts. Hosts? Oh, like host in like a host club? Is that what they're saying? I never thought this viewpoint would exist in Japan. Again, Kingdom Trigger, thank you so much for the super chat. If you have those comments and videos, I'd love to see them. So if you ever come across that again, like let me know. I don't know if I've much seen those sentiments myself, but honestly, I wouldn't be like terribly surprised because I think that like a lot of the CS1 versus CS3 drama and like such, and like also like this character designer versus that, and this vision versus that vision, a lot of that stuff is also still very much I am going to keep myself safe. A lot of that is very much a thing that Japanese fans have to. I've read them debating like 7R combat versus 16 combat and stuff like that, and all that stuff is honestly just as divided amongst them as it is here. There's a number of people there also saying like I think they should reuse 7R's combat and all the fucking same sentiments can be seen. Yeah, that's exactly it. Is that like people think that most of the debates are like really like exclusive to the West, but like honestly, like they have most of the same divisions about things that we do here. Like okay, now I'm just mashing it. Let me actually time. Let me actually time these jumps. Jump when it's at the end. I know. And you know I know. I'm just impatient. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna fucking I'm okay. Okay. Bros, they should have just canceled this game. They should have just canceled this game, bro. Just stay still for a second and get your bearings, okay. I mean, I tried. Oh, let's go. Game of the year. Let's fucking go. This game sucks. Fuck this game. Game of the year. Okay, oh wait, this is where we just went. I don't think you need to jump down there. Oh my fucking god, are you serious? You're going back to a place you... Oh my god. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna go back to save. If I can. If I can. I'm gonna go back to save. I wanna save. I wanna save. And it should be easy to go back. That's what I was promised. By specifically tag who I will blame for for anything that goes wrong. Okay. Kingdom Trigger, thank you for another super. The only big difference I notice with Japanese FF comments is that there's a much bigger emphasis on if the characters are cute. I can see that. I can see that for sure. They care, I mean, honestly, I feel like we care too quite a lot about characters having good, beautiful designs. I don't think Final Fantasy has ever missed on that. Although one thing I think people say that's not true is that 13 was better received in Japan versus oh, it's through here. I'm so stupid. Was better received in Japan versus the West, which I've never found anything that makes me think that's true. So I genuinely don't know where that comes from, other than like people just decided that
how did you fare?
That was true.
Fair? Well, there's nothing fair about that place. I give up.
Well,
but I looked into it,
and quitters never win.
And yeah, they may confuse Lightning being more popular over there. Yeah, but Japan had a pretty similar reception to 13 as the West did. At least as far as I can tell. Like, I've never seen anything that's really suggested to me the opposite. So I don't know. I don't really know where that actually comes from, to be honest. I think it's just something that like was kind of like made up with like fandom war stuff. And like the way people justify certain stuff is like whenever the Western discourse gets out of hand, people are like, well, in Japan, this, that, and the other. So everyone in the West who feels this way is wrong because is wrong because actually over there it's fine. And their opinions are correct because that's where it comes from, which I don't think is like, it's neither true nor false, I should say. It's just like, you know. Okay, I think we're gonna call it a stream here. We're gonna be back at it on Monday. I fucking hate Pitioss. I don't know how much longer this is. I hope it continues to be easy to get in and out of the dungeon to save, because otherwise that shit is gonna be crazy. I suppose I can always god mode my way out of the dungeon, and that's not cheating. Anyways, let's raid my friend Very Finny if you are on Twitch. And if you're on YouTube, there is no raid functionality yet. But just know that I love you, and we'll be back on Monday. It's over. Well, it's been 4 hours, but we'll be back on Monday, I promise. I love you so much. Take care, and I'll see you. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.